ChatGPT. The AI industry has faced scrutiny from regulators lately over the pace at which the technology is developing and mimicking human behaviour. Now, the UK watchdog will assess whether or not AI actually provides an unfair advantage to companies that are already able to afford it. Let's speak now to Stephanie Hare, who is a tech expert. Stephanie, what do you think this review is going to focus on?
Well, it's going to focus mainly on two things. Because this is the CMA, the Competition Markets Authority, it's going to be focusing on ensuring open competition and consumer protection. That's very, very different than what we've been hearing many leaders in AI in the past few weeks warning about, which is about an existential threat to humanity.
Okay, now, I mean, it was only in the last few weeks that sort of the godfather of AI was quit, and he essentially talked about the dangers of AI. I mean, do we actually even know what the risks are with regard to consumer protection?
Yeah, and it depends on how we want to think about consumer protection. So we could go quite abstract and say it's about human rights, it's about privacy, it's about safety, it's about not putting products out into the marketplace until you can prove that you've thought the risks through and mitigated them. But that's not happening. We've already released so many of the generative AI technologies that most of us have been playing with now for a few months, like ChatGPT. That's been since before Christmas time. So it's great to have these aspirations, but right now there's no way to enforce that. There's no legal protection for consumers at all.
Do you think, with regard to this particular review, that the CMA is actually going to take any kind of enforcement action as a result of these findings, or is it just sort of a fact-finding mission at this stage?
I think at this stage, it's more of a fact-finding mission. And to be fair to the CMA, the Federal Trade Commission in the United States is also on a bit of a fact-finding mission, coming up with ideas, publishing op-eds in the New York Times this week about how we could maybe consider regulating AI. The real leader where we can expect to see regulation on this technology is, as ever, the European Union. The AI Act is supposed to be passed later this year and would be enforced after a 2-year grace period. That's the closest we're going to get to any enforcement. For now, it's just talk everywhere else.
But in the interim, this is going great guns. I mean, so many people, as you were saying, around the world are already experimenting with this technology, and companies are embedding it into their sales practices.
Exactly. So I think it's probably going to be a better time to be a lawyer than a regulator, because the lawsuits that are going to happen as the harms start emerging from this and being demonstrated will have greater traction in a court than it will take for us to pass a new law, get it ratified, and then for the regulators to take action.
Stephanie Hare, thank you.